Imagine you came to know something which completely changed your life. It was late June 2015 when I was in Malaysia. It was yet another normal day when I had woken up to go to school. But something about that day wasn't the same. I had woken up with my eyelids completely swollen. My parents were pretty confused about how this had occurred since I hadn't eaten anything new or been exposed to any new environment. Panicked, my parents rushed me to the doctor's clinic only to find out it was nothing severe and probably just an allergic reaction and would go away in about 2 to 3 days. But life doesn't go the easy way, does it? Well, 2 to 3 days pass by and the swelling still remains intact. Another rush to the doctor's clinic, but this time it wasn't fairly that simple. So the doctor told us to get a few more tests done, and the results finally come in. My urine test results had come positive for protein. The doctor said he wouldn't be able to help us anymore and we'd need to go to a hospital. Same day, my parents rushed me to the hospital and we got some more tests done. But everything took an extremely long time since it was Hari Raya, a Muslim festival, and most of the doctors were on a holiday. While waiting for the blood test results, the nurse quickly measured my blood pressure. Here awaits us another aspect of surprise. The nurse read out 130 by 90. Her pressure is too high, and you must admit her right now. My parents insisted that we go back to India and get me admitted since we had relatives over there who could help them take care of me. But the nurse warned them that it was too dangerous. Either way, we took the flight and we reached Pune at about 11 pm the same day. My parents rushed me to the hospital as I was a crying mess, not understanding what was going on. As soon as I reached the hospital, the doctor said it straight to my face. You must get admitted right now. After begging my parents, I convinced them to let me come the next morning. The next 3 days were sheer confusion for me as I lay in bed with all kinds of tests being done. When I got released from the hospital, I came to know that now I have a kidney disorder, childhood nephrotic syndrome. This had turned my brains upside down. I now knew that I couldn't do everything all other children could. I knew that I wasn't normal. I was different, but not in a good way. Either way, I still tried to carry on with my life normally. Now, it was 2018 and I was back in India. I did the stuff all children would typically do: wake up, go to school, get my homework done. Pretty normal, right? Now, I would like to ask you to raise your hands if you think I lived a normal life after that. Well, the answer is a clear no. Grade 5 went by smooth, but by 6th grade, I had realized what was really going on around me. Due to the medications I consumed, I had significantly gained some weight. But I was never really insecure about this until one day in grade 6. At the end of each day, we had to collect the remaining water from our bottles into a bucket. And as I was pouring the remaining few drops from my bottle, a 7th grader comes up to me and asks, "Did you really come here all the way for this?" Then I say, "Boond boond se nadi banti hai," which means a river is formed drop by drop. Then he says, "हाँ, मेरे सामने तो ये बहुत अच्छे से दिख रहा है," which means I can see that evidently in front of me. That was the moment I was shattered from the inside. I felt my heart drop, but I just laughed it off. That was the time when my insecurity began. Now, it was the COVID pandemic, and I had ample of free time, and I knew I had to do something about this. That is when I got into the heavy exercise and fat diet culture. Not the best time of my life, I would say. So, it all started off with eating clean and exercising moderately. But as soon as I saw how I started dropping weight, I became obsessive. The clean eating soon turned into not eating at all, and moderate exercise turned into exercising at every moment possible. Soon enough, my weight dropped from 52 kg to 42 kg. I started receiving compliments, and I felt like I was on the top of the world. But it came with the pressure to stay the same. Now, it wasn't fairly that simple since I had quickly lost a lot of weight, so as soon as I started eating normally, I had gained about 4 kgs. At a point, I reached 49 kgs and the toxic cycle repeated again. This went on for 2 whole years. But slowly and steadily over time, I have realized that weight is not as an important of a factor I thought it was. No one could really make out if I even gained 2 to 3 kgs. Anyway, even though I'm not the most optimistic person ever, let's look on the bright side of all of this. Through these experiences, I learned patience, consistency, hard work, perseverance, kindness, and most importantly, self acceptance. Now, I would like to ask you to raise your hands if you completely accept yourself for who you are without the validation of any other being. For me, the biggest challenge which I have faced throughout my life was accepting myself for who I am. I always thought that I'm too different, not good enough, and just don't fit in with the people around me. I constantly found myself comparing me with the people who I was surrounded with. I strived my best to be like the so called normal people so I wouldn't stand out amongst the crowd. I found it difficult to explain to people why I was different from them. It felt like a necessity to explain myself each and every time. Over time, it became a habit, an involuntary action, and then a lifestyle. Humans are social creatures and we like to be accepted by others as it gives us a sense of validation and safety that people do agree with what we are doing. But honestly, other people's opinions are temporary. It is you who are the only constants in your lives. If you don't accept yourself for who you are, life will be extremely challenging as you would rely on others for validation. But when you do accept yourself for who you are, you become more positive, learn more about yourself, and don't seek external validation. All of this is because you are confident with who you are as an individual. You are satisfied with who you are and don't want to be like anyone else. This creates confidence and helps you live the life you want. Now, I would like to ask you to raise your hands if you think you can completely accept yourself for who you are by reading a blog, hearing a podcast, or perhaps watching a video. Okay, I see a few hands there. Well, it isn't that simple. You might have seen this meme before. Me needing to fix my life. Random motivation at 3 a.m. Nothing ever changing. This is what most of us face. In order to actually learn something, we need to go through something. We need to experience it. Because after all, humans are experiential learners. We learn things by doing. Everything we are today is a result of all of the experiences we have gone through in the past. We, as individuals, reflect our entire life journey, which is filled with numerous experiences. The challenge which I faced throughout my life had its solution in itself. I just had to open my eyes and look around. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how you learn the unteachable. Thank you.